Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkite Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general. Ain't nothing like when you got a Negro that know money. And guess what? He tried to tell you about the stock market for months and months and months and months, and your black ass wouldn't listen. Tonight you gonna listen because you ain't got no choice. Your stimulus ain't came and your check is short. So we gonna talk about it tonight. We talking money tonight, partner. Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. You know, without you guys, we wouldn't have a show at all. So you are the most important audience in the world, and we appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with us. Let me try something. Let me try something. Let's go this route. Let me add this to the stream. I'm gonna start off with my news. That's a nice house, ain't it? Nice little house, ain't it? You know, it's amazing how you run for public office and you broke as all outdoors. And as soon as you get in, you come up with a new Jaguar and a new spot to live in. Tasha, what your house look like at 321 Cage? That ain't gonna work, baby. You were supposed to be living there in Fifth Ward 6 months prior to you running for public office. So you changing over all your information, your voting information right now, that ain't gonna work. You moving into that house ain't gonna work. The OG coming to see you. I'm telling you, we coming to see you. It ain't gonna work, mama. It just ain't gonna work. I want to go and talk real quick about the kids in the Houston Independent School District. There's a great dynamic group called the Student Congress. You know, in most of the schools, there's no student council. So these kids got together and they made them a student congress. And ever since they made a student congress about 3, 4, 5 years ago, the district has had their panties in a bunch because the kids gave themselves a voice. So now we look at the agenda for this month's meeting, and the district wants to dissolve the student congress. Any one of you trustees that vote to take the voice away from them children, you will not get reelected. I'm telling you straight up what's going to happen. Those kids deserve to have a voice, and you old motherfuckers sitting up there acting like you run something on the school board, you need to sit your ass down somewhere. They are very, very intelligent. They know what they want. You got kids in high-powered schools fighting for kids in low-performance schools. Ain't that what you want? Nah, they don't want that. But Tasha, I like the house, though, but it ain't going to work. Donovan, what's going on, man?
Oh, my goodness. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the War Zone. And like we keep telling you guys, we are bringing back some financial planning, some financial ideas, because a lot of you guys missed out. But we told you, and we've continued to tell you here on this show, the New Black Media, we're trying to get you guys to get the bag. If you don't want to take the politics, take the bag. Some of y'all, you guys are just addicted to poverty. You're just addicted to it. But in the news today, as you guys have heard, not that you give a damn, but the House strips Green from committee assignments. The vote was mostly on partisan lines. And your president, Donald Trump, your former president, he quickly rejects impeachment manager's request for testimony at impeachment trial. And as you guys know, Fox News, OAN, and all these other right-wing whack networks are getting sued for billions of dollars by the Dominion voting machine scandal. And it's funny how all of these people are trying to retract what they said. And what I meant to say was, now remember that what they used to say, that what Trump meant to say was, now listen to the Biden supporters. Well, he didn't mean 2000. What he meant was the 1400. Doesn't it kind of sound familiar? Yeah. Power is power is.
So hello, beautiful people. It's a nice Thursday I think it's Thursday evening. I hope all is going well with you out there in Facebook and YouTube land. If you can do us a favor and please, please, please share this live so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation. So just a minute ago, you heard Gary say that last year we had Walter on a bunch of times, and he's going to be on Thursday nights. This is his spot to give us the game so we can get the bag. You heard Gary talk about Walter being here and giving a whole bunch of financial advice and tips and, just everything you can think of, right? And particularly the stock market, right? So you guys all heard last week about the stock market, GameStop, AMC, and a couple other stocks that went through the roof, and a lot of people made a lot of money. I was one of them. I just want to say that. And so this is the information that we are getting here tonight. And so if you are interested in learning how to make money, save money, invest money, budgeting, whatever it is you want to do, tonight is your night. I impress upon you also to get a pad and, a pen so you can take copious amount of notes so that you can better your financial life. And so here we have Walter Coulter, a financial advisor. He's advised so many people, from celebrities to athletes to just everyday regular people such as us. But we're still dope, right? And so he's in the game for over 20 years, and he knows most of what there is to know about helping people live a better financial life. And so, Walter, what say you? What's on the menu today?
Everything, actually. It's been actually quite overwhelming. And I'm glad we are in the kitchen, because like what Muhammad say, if you're not in the kitchen, you're on the menu. And some of y'all looking like chopped liver. We about to put some salt. Actually, no, we're going to take the salt off the table for you guys tonight. So I'll just kind of jump right into it. I've been getting a lot of calls about, what's been going on with GameStop and AMC. First of all, those aren't really financially stable companies. I mean, not when you look at the current stock price. But what happened is people have been able to manipulate the markets. Let me kind of tell you what really happened. In the world of investing, right? And this is something that's been done since the beginning of the stock market. They have this technique called shorting, and it's a way to make a bunch of money. And so the firms have been doing it for decades. Basically, when you short something, so like these big hedge fund managers, so-called billionaires, they will short something. So let's say, for instance, this candle, right? Let's say this candle is worth $2. But now let's say this is Donovan's candle. What I'll do is, even though Donovan is holding that candle, I'll sell that candle for $2. My hope is this candle, the wax ain't no good. So Michael Jackson's hair got burned by it. Something's crazy. And it's really, I know it's going to be worth $1. So I sell it for $2. Then what happens is I go to Donovan and say, hey, Donovan, I'll buy your candle for $1. I give him the $1. From the $2 I already got, I give him his $1 and I keep the $1. That's how short sellers make money. And so that's been happening for decades and decades. And I've used the strategy myself quite a bit if you want to sell something you don't own and make money, you could do that. And so what happens is somebody from Wall Street Bets, somebody on Reddit who's been buying AMC, ironically enough, for a long time, decided that he would go after these short sellers. So what happens is one of these guys from Melvin Capital, and there's quite a few of these guys, what they did is they sold GameStop. Sold the stock. I think GameStop was trading at like 17. I don't have the exact number. Let's say they sold it at 17. Their hope is that it would go down to 10, sell at 17, buy it at 10, make the 7. What these guys on Wall Street Bets did is they told everybody to go buy GameStop. So they took it from $17. I remember waking up and it was almost $500 in the middle of the night. And I went, what the? I have not slept for like a week. So, and I woke up and I went, oh, hell no. I'm like, I'm getting in this money. This is easy money. This is an easy $5,000 to $10,000 I can make this week. So I started following it. And so what happens now, these hedge fund managers have to go out and buy GameStop at $400 to replace something that they sold for 17. End of company, gone. Now, I'll give you another idea of how short, and I'm going to try and follow on my phone so I can follow some of these comments. How it works is, let me give you another example. What happened with, remember Microsoft? Like they're not around. Bill Gates sold DOS. Like, so on your computer, there used to be a dot. That's the operating system. The dot is like the universe. Boom, there was a dot, and then whatever, we built on it. DOS is the operating system. Bill Gates sold DOS to IBM. Bill Gates didn't own DOS. What he did is he sold it, and then IBM said, we'll give you like $1 a computer or something like that. No one's going to want one of these things, so it's not costing us anything. He went back to the guy and bought DOS. So let's say he sold it for 400 grand. He went and bought it for like 50. He sold DOS short, hence Microsoft was born, right? So now if you listen to the guy's like, oh, Bill Gates robbed me. No, he didn't. You sold it, right? He didn't. You sold it. Now, don't beat up Bill Gates for his knowledge. So that is short selling, right? You could do that with cars. We did that with houses. People short sold houses, right? The house, anyways, without going into too much detail. So what I decided to do, because with GameStop, AMC, Express, BlackBerry, like who in the hell has a BlackBerry? I didn't even know BlackBerry was still in business. So when I saw BlackBerry shoot up, I went, okay, this is a bunch of millennials and a bunch of people going after the system. This is like a GoFundMe for the stock market. They know they're going to lose. Some of them thought they were going to win, which is insane. So they all went in and they drove the price up. So what I did is I shorted those stocks. Well, first of all, let me tell you the sad part. I bought AMC when it was $2 and I held it forever. And then so what happens was I was, they got a loan for $400 million to stay in business. And so it went to $450 and I sold it. So I bought options. They were like 50 cents. They went to like $2, $2.50. I was feeling myself. I made $5 grand on the deal and I had 2,000 options. So I was like, okay, cool. As God of the universe, my witness, I woke up that night and AMC was $25. I was mad as a Jewish dude in a Muslim temple. I was hot. So I was like looking for butter knives. I was like, it's going to take too long to bleed out if I cut myself that way. I was pissed. My son would tell you I was looking suicidal. So I said, okay. So I did make some money. And the AMC thing was just, there's no science behind it. It's just games. So what I did is I shorted it. And what I did is I just bought puts. Let me tell you how puts work. And you guys, I swear, like you could take $1,000 and you could make 10 grand. So when I sold AMC and I stopped crying, I bought puts. So I remember AMC was trading at like $20 and GameStop was at 400 and BlackBerry was up somewhere and Express somewhere cuckoo prices. So I bought puts. Basically, when GameStop was 400, I bought a put. What that means is I could put GameStop in somebody's account at a certain price. So, and here's the crazy part. GameStop was at 400. I bought a $20 put on GameStop. It was like 20 cents, 30 cents. It was ridiculous. So 30 cents times 100. I think I had 100 shares of GameStop under control for $30. It's insane. Like for the price of a Happy Meal for 2 or 3 kids and some sodas, you could have managed 100 shares of GameStop. So what happens is how puts work, options work, is when you go in the direction of the price, the stock option price moves with it. So even though GameStop, I mean, it ain't right now, but it was at the moment, was trading at 400, I bought the $20 puts. So all the stock price has to do is go towards 20. And so my stock options, so I sold puts, let's say for like 30 cents for the right to put GameStop in your account when the price gets to 20. How the beautiful thing would be if GameStop went to $10 and I already had the right to sell, because the put allows me to put the stock in your account. So I bought a $20 put option, which means for 20 bucks, I can put it in your account. If GameStop and when GameStop goes to $10, I mean, I'm praying it probably won't, but if it goes to $10, I can give it to you for 20 and turn around and sell it and buy it for 10 without coming out of pocket. My options will just be worth that $10. So my goal is to spend 30 cents and make $10. What happened was GameStop went crashing and I woke up, it was at 120, 126. So I sold all my options. So that day I made like $5,000. I was like, okay, I'm still, because from the AMC thing, I missed out on about 30, 40 grand. So I'm like, okay, I'm $25,000 down, right? And so I did the same thing with AMC and AMC crashed. And so I sold all those. And so I was like, okay, I'm up about 6, 7 grand. I'm still 20 something away from what I should have had if I would have waited a day. So then GameStop and AMC shot way back up. They went back up to 400. And I was like, okay, these are just kids fighting the system. And so what I did, and right now I own a bunch of puts on, I'll just tell you, I own the March $20 puts on GameStop. They're pennies right now. It's insanity. Right, so I own the March, I think 19. I can tell you. I own the March 19s, the March 2021s, the $20 puts. I bought a bunch of those. You can go out to the February 12th, which is next week. You can go out to February 19th. The closer you are to the date, the cheaper those options are. So like today, I sold my February 5th options because they expire tomorrow. Right. And these fools still holding on, pushing the price up. So those options, you know, I lost money on those, whatever. I still got thousands of options on 12, 19, and then into March. So what happened today, right? So I said, I'm out. I'm going to check out today. And then one of my buddies calls me and goes, dude, did you see GameStop? It's at $50 from 100. So I opened my account. Ding, 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 ding. So I got another $5,000 back. Right. And that happened like in the last 5 minutes of the market trading. So GameStop crashed again. So now it's at 50. Right. So all those options I bought are up in value. And now GameStop, even after the market is closed, is still dropping. Now it may go up and down, back and forth, but it is coming down. So what's happening is all those options I bought, as GameStop approaches $20, those options become valuable. So this is for somebody that wanted to, who had, like, you took your stimulus $600 and you put it in these GameStop put options, and GameStop gets to 15, 20 bucks, and now you got $10,000. It's not rocket science. So for people that say, oh, this is the market is not for us, bull caca. It is for us, especially like you guys. Jeez, Lord have mercy. I said I wasn't gonna get too riled up. I don't want to have to get my sauna after the show is over. So it's like I hear people complaining about their financial situation. And I'm like, this is insane. Like one of my boys, Steady B, he's a white dude, right? He think he's black. He's from the Dino. And he goes, Walter, I want you to do this. He goes, you're helping me and Des with our money, right? He goes, I want you to buy Dogecoin, whatever the hell that is. He goes, I want to get in on those AMC. You know, he's like, just put me in, all that stuff. And he goes, Walter, what's my risk? I go, you could lose it all. There are options. He goes, you know what? Me and my wife will just make dinner at home for a while and won't eat out. And if we lose the money, we still had dinner. And I went, damn. So, and here's the cool thing about investing. And you guys, I know like stock options are risky. You can lose it all, but you invest $100 and the stock moves the other direction. You're out of $100. But do you know what that will do? It creates a habit. And I tell people, I don't care if you lost every penny in the stock market this time. Like I have a lot of people from the war zone who hit me up. I get messages from you guys, like Erica. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. She got the JP, this, that. She got the ZOM. I'm like, damn. She's slapping hoes and knocking out COs. So, for little money, and you don't really have to understand it. It's like we started the membership, right? And I'm like, Lo, for $100, I'll be your slave. I'm not really making money, but I'll do it. So a few people hit me up And most people are like, no, I can't afford $100. It's not going to work. Oh, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get $100? I was like, where'd you get the money to pay for your BMW or the Lexus or for the $800 truck payment? Where do you get the money for cigarettes and crack cocaine or whatever the shit you do? You know, like, seriously, what the, anyways. So you have, like, you guys, I know this is a predominantly Black network, and I shared it with my Facebook page, so we probably got some white people in here and some Mexicans, right? Because I'm the rainbow dude. But like, this is our shot. Seriously. Like, right now, and GameStop and AMC is still a ways from where they should be. So tomorrow you can get in the market, you can buy some of these put options, you can take $500 or $1,000, and you can get in the party. And if it doesn't go your way, you can still sell the options for a loss, depending on how much time you have left, or it could go your way. I mean, like, what you do, like, I watch CNBC. I haven't seen Scandalous, and I haven't seen Power. I don't know what 50's role is in Power. I've never seen that Washington, D show, the drug show. I don't watch none of that shit. What I do watch is some beautiful people on CNBC, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance. Once in a while, Fox and some of those guys will get in the game. And I just wake up and I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? What are they talking about today? So like this guy, John Najarian, he's a white dude, goatee, ponytail. He's like, if you're rich, you can rock a ponytail and a goatee with a bald spot, right? Every day he does unusual activity on options and he tells you what to buy. VALE. 10, we got 10,000 orders for options. That's the CFO. That's somebody inside the company. Boom, let's go. Alibaba's making moves. Every day he tells you what stocks to buy. And so what I do is I watch CNBC and I listen to all these guys talk about why they're buying the stocks, and I buy the stock options. Give you an idea, you guys, you can do this with $200. Like that stimulus, $1,400. Some of you got 4 kids. That's 4 times 14. What's the math on that? What is that? $6,400 plus you have $8,000. Is that $8,000? Whatever it is. Let's call it $8,000. Coming to your house for $8,000, you can get in the market, make enough money to put a down payment on a piece of investment real estate, rent that shit out, and have that pay your mortgage. Done. End of story. Period. It's that simple. And I know because that's what me and my household are doing. Like I got my grandson in there, my son and his wife, they in there. She got a job now, so all they talk about is money. I love it, right? Titus, he gonna be rich. No, my grandkids, everybody got their own thing, but it's like, this is what we should be talking about, you guys. And finance is behavior. Like I met a guy last night. Somebody stole the lights from my Range Rover, whatever. Popped them out, stole them. So I bought some on OfferUp, and I talked to this dude from the Texas Rangers. He just retired from the Rangers, and he goes, you know what, dude, I took my money and I'm buying real estate and I'm doing some things with my baseball money. And he's like, what should I be doing with my money? This is the dude I just met on OfferUp. And we spent 20 minutes going over stock tips and advice. And I'm just thinking, there are a lot of people out there that are really interested in doing better. And when me and him were talking, he goes, you know what? My wife pulled me to the side and is like, yo, you being a knucklehead, stack this money. And so he created a behavior. This is a dude that plays for the Texas Rangers in an 07 Range Rover, making hundreds of thousands of dollars playing baseball, driving an 07 Range Rover that he built. And so I'm tired of the old Range Rovers, so I was like, you can have mine. But I could see the peace in his face because he created a habit. We as a people, and I mean all people, we could really get ahead. So there's no excuse. Like if you are a homeless dude living under a bridge and you have a social security number, they owe you $1,400 and $600 and whatever we got up to $1,200. So you got you got $3,200 coming to your name. You guys could buy the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like that's money coming. Joe Biden, I don't care what you think about him. I don't like none of them, right? He lied to us, by the way. Surprise. But he's talking about doing this small business loan and just throwing money out to the universe at like 2% interest. I hear no one talking about that. Nobody's talking about it. And I was watching TV, it was like midnight. And I follow this dude, Meet Kevin. He's some wild white dude in Ventura, but he's on YouTube every 20 seconds. And he laid down Joe Biden's plan, the stimulus $1,400, then the additional $2,000, and then the small business loans and the PPP and the SBA and the $10,000 grants. They are throwing so much money out there. And a lot of you guys that were gig workers, real estate agents, Uber, Lyft, whatever it is, if you got a 1099 from 2019, the federal government owes you money. A lot of you guys don't even know about it. Like the PPP is around again. Most of you that qualify haven't even went to go get it. It's insane. It makes no sense to me. And I'm talking about the people that qualify, right? So like, anyways, go out, get your money. If you can't get it, pay somebody. I don't want to do my
All
son.
right, yeah. Let me ask you a question here.
Yeah, because I don't know nothing about it.
Right, there you go. So did with the GameStop and the AMC thing, because we know, especially with Robinhood stopped allowing people to buy the AMC and the GameStops for a while. Saying they're trying to figure it out because the hedge fund guys on Wall Street, they were the ones that were pissed because they lost billions and billions of dollars due to what you said, the younger generation or the little guy, right? Because it wasn't just the millennials, it was the little guys. And I think it was Walter, I sent you the video of the older guy. He's pissed off.
Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me have this dude.
Oh, he thought, I'm about to say the grandbaby going down the stairs.
Man, let me tell you something. No, his parents are right there. He was booking down the stairs. I was like, I'm next to the staircase. His parents, they're not dead. They're right there with him.
I hope CPS ain't watching this. But anyway,
you know what I'm saying? I thought he was going for the stairs. Say what up, Titus.
What's up, baby? So Dave,
all right, go back to your mama.
So Robinhood got in a lot of trouble. Not a lot of trouble. It got a lot of heat. Robinhood took a lot of heat from investors and news pundits, just a bunch of people basically saying that he was in on the fix and screwing over the little guy, if you will. And he didn't have a reason to do what he was doing. And so what's your opinion on that? And do you think they're going to fix it to where the little guy can't make money? Because the video I sent you, there's this older crotchety old dude. He was mad because he says it's people sitting at home collecting checks, making all of this money. And it's like, ain't that what y'all doing? Sitting at home collecting checks?
That's what they do.
But they're mad at the little guy for doing it. So is that over? In your opinion, like you think they'll do something to screw the little guy, if you will?
It's already happening. Like when I saw Elizabeth Warren talking, I was like, where in the hell was she for the last 100 years when they were doing, like, the little guy's getting screwed right now. What happened with this whole market, with the whole GameStop and everything, is so-called the little guy had power. So that is what we're supposed to do. Put our money together and make moves. Like we did that. When I say we, I didn't participate in it. I actually I was participating on the hedge fund guys side because they're the guys that ultimately are going to win. The hedge fund guys got crushed, but they can go out and borrow $100 billion again. So who cares? And they'll just start all over. They'll file bankruptcy. Instead of Melvin Capital, it'll be the Blue Notes Capital. Don't matter. They'll just start over, right? So, but what's going to happen is regulation, for the most part, it always hurts the little guy. And they are screwing you. Like Elizabeth Warren, like where were they when Wall Street, they've been whooping the little guy's ass. I'll tell you, like right now, I could take this candle, right? I like this candle, it's pumpkin spice, right? This is how banking works. And this is how Wall Street does it, you guys. I'm dead serious. And if you can get your head, if I don't get burned first, if you can get your head around this concept, you will be a millionaire. Like anybody listening to this between now and the next 24 months could be a millionaire on paper. I know because I'm in the process of doing it myself. My sister, like, it's not complicated. I can take this candle if I'm a bank. and take this candle. Donovan gives me his candle. I give Donovan 1% interest on it. Then I take, because now what happens is I have this candle, right? So what I'll do is I'll loan this candle out to somebody else and they will pay me 10% interest on it. And because that 10% interest coming back to me is considered income, in accounting, it converts to an asset. So now because I have an asset, I can loan it out again. And so I loaned Gary, I loaned him the ink, so I got the income. So with that income turns into another candle, and I loan out this candle to D. D pays me income. I use that income, make another asset. I loan it to Miles. I loan that candle out. One candle gets loaned out 10 times. I gave you big dummy, 1% on your money, and I loaned it out 10 times at 10%. So you get 1%, I get 100% on your money. I talk about this shit all the time. And people, you know what they want to do? Like me and my sister were talking, and you know, this pretty popular brother on YouTube, like the African Network. And from what I understand, and I hear a lot of people say it, when we start talking about money, black people don't want to hear it. They zone out. If I took my shirt off and started twerking backwards and put on a handstand, then people will watch. Now, I don't really believe it's that bad, but you know, and I hope that they are wrong, right? So, and me and Dee were talking, and then somebody else was like, Walter, you got to make money funny. You got to chuckle and jive a little. You know, like, I'm like, when you go to work and if your paycheck is short, how much do you shuck and jive? Do you laugh when you're... So here's what I'm saying.
I think the premise more or less was the vitamins in the applesauce approach. You guys have heard of that before. You try to give a child some medicine or some vitamins. Nah, I don't want it. But if you put it in the applesauce, it's disguised. And so, and to me, I'm not a big fan of Tyler Perry, but what Tyler Perry did was he disguised the message and the dress and all of that, because there was some messages in a lot of Tyler Perry's things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, and you guys look up Neely Fuller Jr., and he talks about us. He actually was the one that really defined racism. And he talked about us as Black people, that we want to be entertained. If it ain't entertaining, it ain't funny, it's not no music involved, and you know, some shucking and jiving and all of that, then we kind of tune out. But here, and everything that we talk about on the War Zone, my show, Donovan shows, Gary shows, everything we talk about is important. But the shows where financial literacy is going forward, like the numbers should be going through the roof. But unfortunately, sometimes, I don't know, people come for the show, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Gary, what do you think?
I'm looking at the numbers now. If we talking about pussy popping, we have 500 people on here. We talking about money, we got 98.
Well,
so I mean, sometimes I figure this out, Walter and Dimitri and Donovan. Everybody don't want money; they just want enough money to buy a sack.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. Have you ever been to a fireworks show and the fireworks start popping and then they have the grand finale and it boom, 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 boom? Right now, the grand finale is just getting started. And I'm telling you, they're raining money, stimulus, this, that. If you're a Black woman with a business, there's government programs and companies that will cut you a check because you're a Black woman with a business. Period. End of discussion. So there's money raining, but you guys, when you've been to a fireworks show, it stops. When it's over, it's over. Right now, like reparations is dead. So next, right? What we can do is we can create our own reparations. You know, I was just sitting on the couch and I was like, you know what? This is cool. Like, you can sit here and sitting on the couch, like the old dude was saying, and you can make 10, 12 grand in 3 days. There's no color. My E-Trade account doesn't go, hey, what color are you? It just wants to make sure I have money to trade. And you know what's crazy, you guys, is I borrowed money from E-Trade to purchase the AMC puts. So it wasn't even my money. That's the crazy part, is you can do what's called a margin loan in your brokerage account, and they will loan you money to invest. Anyways, so let me explain what happened with Robinhood. Robinhood was not in the wrong. That's the media pumping that shit. Robinhood is a clearinghouse. When you buy a stock, you have like 3 days to come up with the money. Robinhood has to carry that financing, pay for that until you put the money up. If you don't pay for it, Robinhood is on the hook. All these people were buying all this stock, buying a stock for $400 that's worth $17, and Robinhood, and I'm surprised it took them this long, they pumped the brakes. All they're saying is, hey, dude, you came to a Mercedes dealership and you paid $2 million for a $100,000 Mercedes, and you bought it, took it, but you haven't given us the money yet. And if you don't pay, we gotta pay. So Robinhood shut it down. So the media is like, oh, Robinhood's screwing the little guy. No, they're not. Robinhood did you guys a favor because they let you get in the game with barely any money, $50 in a Robinhood account, and you could buy stock options. Wall Street wasn't doing that until Robinhood and those guys got in the game. Now some people are doing fractional margin. You can buy fractional shares, but Robinhood started that. So now what the media is doing is turning the people against Robinhood. Take Robinhood out of the mix. Most of us don't own stock options because E-Trade wasn't messing with us.
So here's my next question, and maybe y'all all can answer this. So this is just me theorizing here. You guys notice a lot of the states are starting to open back up, even though the coronavirus is still like there, right? It's not going anywhere. Still have people dying. They say the numbers are going down, but more people are dying, which is kind of weird to me. So I was thinking, I'm wondering if they're opening up these states to get people back to work, because if people are at home, they're learning to be financially savvy. They're learning how to work the stock market and get in on the stock market. And so if a millennial, let's take a millennial, for example, a millennial who would normally work at, I don't know, Taco Bell or McDonald's or some minimum wage job, if you will. Now that millennial is making thousands and thousands of dollars a week, even if it's hundreds of dollars a week. Why would they need to go back to those public sector jobs that are paying them $200-300 a week? And so just me being a conspiracy theorist to some degree, I'm like, maybe they're all in cahoots, because to your point, they've demonized Robinhood, and now these states are starting to open up prematurely. So is that some sort of a tactic to cut off the little man in order to send him or her back to work? What do you guys think? Donovan, start with you.
I mean, anything is possible. I mean, with what's going on in the world right now, for all you warehouse workers and Amazon people, by the way, Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO because they were doing some insider trading, I guess, or information was being pilfered from their competitors or something like that, allegedly. So, I'm very sure he's going to be okay because he's got billions and billions. But just like why he stepped down allegedly is because they've rigged the system against the little man, and they don't want us to, get into the game, because once we figure it out and we find out what's going on, then it's not capitalism. It's social. You know what I mean? We have this corporate socialism that goes on, and everybody's cool with that, but nobody's cool with everybody making money and being fair. And you got to think about it right now too. As we are sitting at home, all of you Amazon workers and you PG&E workers and all you warehouse workers, they're putting in the robots right now. That's why you don't see them hollering and screaming about what's, you guys sitting at home. They're putting in the robots right now because they don't expect you to come back.
It's worse than that, Donovan. And real quick, I saw Tara Taylor's name on the screen. Hit me up. I like what you had to say. So, first of all, and I want to answer her, I want to address her comment. Here's what I'm telling people. Do not buy a house right now. Take your money. Let me tell you what I'm hearing and what I'm doing and what people in the money are doing. What they do first is they buy an investment property first. Let me tell you how it works. I got 20 grand, right? And I'm going to put on a house. Then I put money on a house. Then my debt to income is affected because now my house payment's $1,000 and my income is $4,000, whatever it is. What you should do is take that $20,000, get into an investment piece of real estate, maybe a duplex somewhere or whatever it is. Buy it as an investment property, because in investment properties, if the deal makes sense, a bank will give you money faster. You know what I'm saying? So let's say the house is worth $200,000, but it's jacked up and you can get it for $50,000. There are banks, private guys, hard money lenders, ma and pa, that will give you the money to do the deal, fix it up, put 75 in, you got 125 into something that's worth 200. They rent it out, right? So now that renter's paying, let's say $1,000 a month or whatever it is, right? Or let's say they're paying $1,200. They're paying $1,200 on the house you renovated. It's worth $200. You got $125 in it, right? Depending on how much you financed. Because if you can take 20 grand, put in a deal, if you have equity, a bank will loan you money in addition and then loan you money to fix it up. So now you're $125,000 with your 20 and the other people in the bank's money. You guys all go in. It's worth $200. You're only in $125. You got somebody paying $1,200. Then you take that $200,000, you refinance it, and you pull 70 to 80% depending on your bank. So if I pull 70% out of 200, what is that? 140. I'm only 125 with other people's money. I pay all them people off. I keep the 15,000 after fees. I got 15,000 plus my 20,000 back. Follow me. If your house is worth 200, you refinance it to 70%. They cut you a check for 140. They pay off all the people that are owed money, including you, because you're owed 20 grand because you are now the bank. You get your 20 back, pay off everybody. You keep the 15. So you put in 20, you end up with 35, and you got somebody paying $1,200 on the mortgage payment that is $600 a month before property tax and insurance. Now you take that 35,000 minus the 600 and the property tax, let's say is 800. I know Texas is 2%. So the property tax is high as hell, but the properties are low as hell. So it works out. So let's say you're paying $900 a month for this house and you're getting 12. So you have 300 plus 30,000, 35,000. Don't you think it would be easier to buy your own home with 35 grand and 300 a month to add on top of your income for debt to income? See, this is the shit we talk about when y'all ain't looking. Elizabeth Warren and Maxine Waters. I had dinner with Maxine Waters at the Voodoo Lounge in LA. And I was like, Maxine, and Maxine did not, she was pissed at me. I go, how are we spending $5,000 on not dinner, drinks? After we used to go to Rain, Keyshawn Johnson's restaurant in LA, and then we used to go to the Voodoo Lounge. And Maxine Waters showed up, and they $5 grand for after dinner drinks and snacks. $5 grand. And I'm like, what? So I forgot how I even got. Oh, anyways, I get sidetracked. When I talk about money, just tie me down. So wouldn't it make sense to do that? And then honestly speaking, you guys, I don't know, like right now, the house I'm in, my sauna is paying rent. Actually, it's not true. Those 2 bedrooms over there, I Airbnb both of those. They paying rent. I live here for free. I'm not embarrassed. I changed some sheets, but I ain't paying rent. So then I don't know if I will ever buy a house for me as an owner. What I would rather do is take my 35 grand, put it down, get somebody else to pitch in with me. We buy it, refinance it, pull more money out. Before you know it, I got $100,000. I own 3 investment properties, and I got $1,200 a month or $900 coming through the door. That is mine. And you know what the renter is doing? They're paying down the equity, which is giving you net worth. So now you own 3 homes and you have cash and you have equity and you're done. Then you tell your boss, kick rocks. I got 3 homes. I don't have any bills, expenses. My car's paid off. And I got solar panels. I got a propane tank that runs my refrigerator, runs my stove, my hot water, my sauna. I have no bills. As long as there's a sun and gas, I'm cool. And then you're free. You don't have to work again. And that's exactly what we're doing. So anyone can do that. You fix your credit. And that's the next thing I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to let you guys go first.
So what's up with this Bitcoin and Dogecoin?
I have no idea, but here's what I'm getting ready to do. I don't know what Dogecoin is trading for. I have no idea.
It's a little under, it's not even, what is it down to, like
like 5 cents.
Like 5 cents. But it started at less than 2. Now you got a couple of thousand of them, like somebody I know, then you know there's a little bit of money on the table.
Here's what I'm doing in the morning, because my boy Steady B was like, Walter, we want Dogecoin. I have no idea how to buy it, but that's what I'll do tonight. I'll figure it out. So I'm like, I'll put $500 in it at 5 cents, or divided by $500. That's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of shares. Is it 5 cents? So what's $500 divided by 5 cents?
It's at 80 cents. 80 cents.
Wow.
Oh, is that $80?
It's about 5 cents.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what is 5 cents divided by $500? I don't know what Dogecoin is. I heard it was a joke. But so was AMC, so was GameStop, so was Bed Bath, so was BlackBerry, and so was COS, right? And McKeish. There's a few other companies out there. Silver, come on, man. Like, it doesn't stop. So what I told him and what we agreed on is we would just buy it. I have no idea what's going to happen to it. I don't even know if it's real. But what happens, you guys, is people get behind these movements and they drive the price up. So even if Dogecoin is like candle wax, if it's 5 cents and it's going to go up to $1 and I own 50,000 shares, I got $50,000. That's all there is to it. I don't care what it is. You realize, like, banks, there's no money in the bank. Zero money. Go to your bank and ask them for $10,000 out of your account. They're going to be like, they're going to look around, security. This fool want his own money. And he want it right now. I'm looking at the teller. What's in your vault? So they have to order money because it's not there. So what you guys should do is, like, and one of my boys was like, oh, you gangster with your money. I was like, I am. It's what gangsters do. Like, there's a movie called, on the Amazon, I think, The Men That Built America. The Morgans. Schwab. Watch that movie and call me back. It tells you how J.P. Morgan and Rothschild basically had a dude at the Napoleon War was like, yo, tell me what happens. He's like, Napoleon lost. He told everybody Napoleon won, and he sold his bonds, and everybody was like, shit, if Rothschild is selling, we're selling. They hit the floor. He bought it all back, him and his cronies. And when his messenger got back first, when the other messenger for the government came back and said Napoleon lost, bonds went flying through the roof. Rothschild became the richest man in the world that moment.
Still is, supposedly.
It still is. And the Rockefellers and the Morgans, like, you realize, like, J.P. Morgan, like Morgan and Chase and Schwab was in Still. Like, these guys are all crooks. But we built our world on it. Like, you realize, like, New England is New England. New York is from York. You know what I'm saying? New Hampshire is from Hampshire. So you have a bunch of crooks that came over from England and started this country, and they put rules in place. I love Hamilton, the play, but he was a thug. He was the first Treasury Secretary. So you want to know how the federal... Anyways, you guys do your homework. So this is the stuff I do. And then what happens, so when I hear something like these cuckoos are pushing up GameStop, I go, one day they're going to run out of money and GameStop's going to fall. It's easy money. It was easy money. So there's that. What I want to do is move on next is I want to talk about something that people love, and talking about credit. I see these credit videos on YouTube. If you got a 520, I can get you a 750. How about you pay your shit on time and get a 720? if you got a 520 and you get a 720 through erasing and disputing, your 520 behavior is still there. And you guys, I know, okay, I ain't never had a 520, but I've been close, right? And there was a time I didn't use my credit. I just started using my credit a couple years ago. I was done with credit. I was like, I'm done with the world. I'm just going to chill. I started building my credit. So it went to 650, 680, and go on and on and on. And before you know it, I started getting all these damn offers. And before you know it, it's like, oh, now you can go buy real estate. Companies giving you money. There's a company called Fund and Grow that will cut you a check for up to $250 if you got a 680 and not open collections and your stuff's in order. I mean, like, so the important thing is to build your credit. And I'm going to say this, and if anybody wants to call me, you can DM me, hit me up. I can take anyone in 0 to 24 months, and I can get you retired from work. I can get your credit up. I can get you financially independent where you do not have a job ever again. Anybody, I don't care where you stand. And it all starts with building your credit. How do you build your credit? Right now, every person has an even playing field because you can use your tax return or you can use your stimulus. So let's say you're not getting the tax return, you have your stimulus. Do you realize if you have you and let's say there's 4 people in your household, right? So there's 4,000, what is that? There's 50, is that 5,600? Something like that? Coming to your household. Almost $6,000. You can take that $6,000, you could split it up. You can give 3 to Capital One, 3 to Discover, or 3 to Citibank, and you can say, here's a secure credit card. I want to give you guys the money, you send me a credit card. So instead of buying the TV cash, I'm going to swipe my credit card and buy the TV and pay the credit card off. What's going to happen is you're going to have your TV and you're going to have your credit line. Same thing with card payments. Right now, it's tax season. My buddy owns a dealership. If you follow my Facebook page, I'm selling my friend's BMW for her. He goes, Walter, it's tax season. And people, it is what they spend their refunds and their stimulus checks on these cars. And so this BMW will not be here long. It's a good deal, but I'm just saying, whatever it is, people are spending their stimulus money. So what if you could take your stimulus money, give to a credit card, build your credit, and then use that credit card to buy those things? And if you're going to buy a car, buy a reasonable car with a decent payment, use your credit card, the money from your credit card, use that as your down payment on the car. Now you have a car loan and 2 credit cards. Now you have 3 lines of credit with your stimulus money. You can be broke as hell right now and have 3 lines of credit. And I'm just going to lay it all down. I'm going to give it to you. If you know somebody with good credit, have them put you on their credit. Aunts, uncles, I don't care. If the cat got credit, jump on his credit. And so what happens is you get their credit. If they have credit cards with long history and low balances, like my sister, I just had her put me on one of hers. I was like, help me, I need a point, right? Hey, I'm a phone a friend, I need a point, right? So what happens is now your score goes up because you inherit their history. And then there's a company called Self, and you can pay $50 a month, $150 a month into a savings account, and they will then give you credit for paying yourself. It's insane. There's another company, I just did it with this house. It's called Isusu. They report credit to all 3 bureaus for like $100, and I think there's a yearly membership fee. They'll take your credit, your rent, and go back 2 years and put it on your credit report. I know because my landlord was like, hey, Walter, he's like a Chinese dude. He's so funny. He act like this house don't belong to him. Whatever, Sam. But he goes, they called me today for your, well, okay, I'm not going to talk in his voice, but that would be racist. But he was like, they called me today to verify you've been paying rent on time. I said, yeah. So he goes, so explain that to me. I said, oh, they're going to put that on my credit. Now, they don't know that Airbnb is paying my rent. They don't need to know that. But the point I'm making is you can do that so you can build your credit that way. There's multiple ways you can build your credit. I know Care Credit through Synchrony Bank, they're really lenient when it comes to loaning people money. You can get your teeth fixed, your implants, whatever you need to do to yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Tummy tuck, mommy makeover, they will pay for it. There's a bunch of companies. If you go to YouTube and Google credit cards soft pull, what that means is they don't run your credit score, so you don't have a hard inquiry what they do is they run through some of these Lexus Nexus and some of these other things to kind of get an idea, and then they'll give you credit based on that. So what you don't have is the inquiries. You guys, let me tell you this. If you buy a car right now and you go to a car dealer, they're going to run your credit to 20 banks, and all 20 of those inquiries are going to show up on your credit, and your score going to drop. Then they're going to be back, hey, your score dropped. We don't know what happened. What happened was we ran your credit and it dropped. Instead of doing that, if you must buy a car through a dealer, call me first. But say, listen, pick the bank that.
Or what I did is I showed up with my own money, my own loan that was already guaranteed. And they said, oh, we can beat it. No, that's okay. I'm cool with what I got. Because like you said, then they'll be running your credit all over the place and it drops your score. So you can show up with your own money and it saves you a lot of time.
Yep. And so let me give you the math real quick. I'm going to give you, my boy going to kill me for telling you this, but I'm going to tell you. First of all, so when you buy a car, you guys, do you ever wonder how, like, you see a car and they go, oh, this car is $20,000, $99,900, whatever. And it seems like it's too low. Let me tell you what car dealers make their money. If they're not making money on the spread, and I'll just tell you guys, if you guys know me, like, money is on my mind, and I'm not embarrassed. I wake up, right? A girl laying next to me. I'm like, put the dollars there, whatever. Like, I love money, right? For the love of money, it don't matter, because money, people say, oh, all you need is love. Take love to Target, right? So what you can do is you can pay $120, and I tell people this, you can pay $125, go to the DMV and get a dealer's license. All you need is a dealership. And like my boy, he goes, Walter, buy any car you want. I'll put it on my line of credit. You don't got to come out of pocket. If you get the car for 22 and the car's 35 online and your client wants to pay 30, they'll save money. You'll make $8,000. We'll make a little money. Everybody's happy. So I'm like, you mean I can make $8,000 and I don't have to spend a penny? But 125? I'm gonna leave that right here for a minute. So what I do is I teach my clients how to buy cars. So one of my clients, Dr. Gilmore, she's one of my favorite clients. We just bought her car through my buddy, and like me and her getting ready to buy Teslas and like do stuff with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So here's how the dealers get you. Number one, anytime you buy a car, ask them to let you see their screen, because what happens is the bank gives them the interest rate that they're going to give you. The dealer has their own interest rate. So to the right middle, there's the bank interest rate of 8%, but your loan might be at 19. What that means is they're getting the money at 8 and adding 11% and then charging you. That's what dealers do. That's where they make their money. So if you borrow $20,000 over 7 years at 11% spread, do the math.
You know who knows that very well? That's Donovan. They hate to see Donovan coming because they're like, we ain't gonna make no money off this Negro.
Right? So there's the spread they make. The gap insurance. When you buy gap insurance, it goes on top of the price, and you pay sales tax on gap insurance, which is some total bullshit. But that's what happens. So when you're buying a car, make sure that you want to fight for the price. That's why. So what I do is I'll give you the math again. I'm being transparent tonight. You can go to the auction, buy a Tesla for $25,000, take it to the dealer, and it's worth $35,000 on the street. Follow me. You can do the deal at $30,000, have $5,000 equity, only pay gap on the difference between what the car is worth and what's financed. So if what's financed is less than the value, then the gap insurance is not important. You can fight for it. They might still want you to get it because it's a moneymaker, but you can fight it. So there's the gap, right? Ooh, I'm gonna tell you something right now that's gonna be, I never did it, but I know it's doable, right? So somebody at my Amazon's like, it's not my house, it's somebody else's house. But what happens is you can use your equity as a down payment. If the car is worth 30 and you got it for 22, and you buy the car for $30,000, you have $8,000 in equity down payment, so no money out of pocket. There's another strategy. You can use the equity as a down payment. Dealers do it all day. They won't say they do it, and the banks aren't stupid. You can use equity as a down payment. So if I buy Tesla for $25,000 and it's worth $35,000, and let's say I do the deal at $35,000, I can use that $10,000 equity as my down payment. It's thuggish, right? So there's that. I thought you guys were gone. So they scared the shit out of me. I was about to get the party started. So
we got about, and not to cut you off, but we got about 5 minutes left. So there's so many things in the comment section.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
5 minutes, and then what? What they got to do? Y'all got a church picnic to go to at night?
Well, me and Gary are on Central Time, okay? So we don't have that good ass sunshine y'all got right about now.
It's 8 o'clock, man. Millionaires at lunch. Anyways, let me finish this conversation, right? You missed me with the 8 o'clock shit. So the spread, the gap, right? We talked about the interest rate spread. They make money on the equity. Here's the other thing they make money on. In the bank, the guy at the bank goes, don't buy the warranty. He goes, chances are we're not going to really pay for much. And if so, the car's going to be really jacked up. That's just money we keep. So the warranty is their money. So they make money 4 ways that I can really discuss legally. Is the spread, the gap insurance, the warranty, and then the difference. Like right now, I can go to Manheim.com. I can buy Tesla, a Model S, the big booty Tesla, for $25,000. At the dealer, they're asking $35,000 for that car all day. I can buy it for $25,000, send it to my boy. He'll sell it for $35,000. He'll give me the $10,000, plus we'll split the interest rate spread, the gap insurance, and the warranty. And guess how much money I put out of pocket? Not a goddamn thing. I stole that from Gary. So how do you make $10,000? And this is something I like. I haven't done this yet. Like, this is like what I'm doing next. It's just one more thing, right? So how do you make $10,000 on no money? You guys, this is information is an MF. It's just understanding the rules. And so, like, people say, Walter, what do you do at night? I don't know. This is what I'm doing, right? There's my son, like he's a tough one. And like Ty, my mom's is mean as hell. Man, I make sure my insurance write a big check because he is stingy and frugal. No, it's supposed to be, right? Bye, Titus. So anyways, you guys, you can DM, hit me up. There's so many ways to make money right now. This is prime time. But if you don't do anything else, get the GameStop puts, the AMC puts. Do that. Use your stimulus money. Use it to build your credit. And do not buy a house right now unless it's cheap. Like me and my sister talked about buying a house in Houston. You know, if you're paying 13, 14, whatever the number is, and you can buy the house next door for 600, okay, then that's not as bad. Because that's all right. You're still cutting your bills in half. It just depends on your situation. When people buy a house, what they normally do is they go up in bills. Your rent's $1,200, and then they pay $1,800 for the mortgage because I'm a homeowner. No, you a dumbass. You're spending more money, and you want to end a marriage? Buy a house. It stressed you out. Buy the investment property first, and then if I'm a real estate agent, I'm saying buy the investment property, then buy your house. Then I get 2 commission checks. Does that make sense? For you real estate agents, hello. And Medea would say hello, right? I'm done. Y'all can get to y'all 8 o'clock shit.
Well, the people said give you a couple of minutes. They was like, "People, shut your mouth." Gary, Donna, what do you guys have in the last couple of minutes?
Well, you know, I just want to say, you know, like I said, thank Walter for coming on the show. This is why the Black media and the 5-star does this, because we're not, you know, he doesn't want to talk about it. We want to be about it. I mean, things are changing out there, y'all. We can't be doing the same old thing our grandparents did and our parents did. Because if what they did was so great, point out the generational businesses that grandpa has passed down. Mom and dad have passed down. Where are the generational businesses? Where are the, you know, where's the success from their generation that they passed down to our generation? It isn't there. So we have to find new ways of thinking. We have to look at people like a Jerry Monroe, and say, you know what? He ain't gonna wear a suit, but he's got passion for our kids. You know, we're not playing this game anymore. I mean, the veil has been uplifted, and Donald Trump is a big reason that has happened. So I want to thank Walter. And here's the thing about us as Black people: we always react. We're not proactive. We're always reactive, and that's why we keep losing. A lot of people that I do know that was on this show when Walter was on, they're happy as a motherfucker right now because they made some money. But it's the people that did not want to take a risk. But you can go to the casino on the church bus and throw your money away over there. But we're asking,
on Saturday, Sunday, on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, just take some advice, take a chance, and you could have made some really big money. So I want to thank Walter for coming on the show. And again, brother, we need you to come back because obviously people are the people that really want to do something are listening. And for those that are listening, please like and share this so that other people can get the message out.
And let me say something real quick. Some I forgot, and I'll be brief because I know it's 8 o'clock and it's late for them. Lord have mercy. Two things. First of all, Donovan, thanks for bringing that up. And one reason I stopped doing the war zone, be it I wasn't, I stopped or it stopped me or whatever it is, people don't want to hear this, and it makes no sense to me. Like tomorrow, those of you who have jobs and have a man or a woman, gonna leave your warm bed to go chase that money in that cold ass world. Wouldn't it make sense to spend 12 months? Like, what's cool is waking up and not having to get up out of bed and say, you know what, how you doing, baby? Well, you want some eggs, like some waffles? Like if you got a cat, rub the cat, whatever, like do what you do. But like, sometimes I don't like getting out of bed. It's cold, right? 1, 2, you guys, we that have family members, especially older family members, Black people especially, bought these homes because we couldn't buy homes, so we bought them. And we like National Geographic. The monkey, they put the nuts in the hole. He grabbed the nuts and he won't let go of the nuts, and they hit him over the head. Like, let go of the nuts, Black people. Here's what I'm saying. Like, you have $1 million, $2 million, $500,000 in equity, and you're not doing shit with it. I had a real estate agent say, I tell Black people, if you got equity in the house, don't touch it. I was like, you dumbass, you are killing Black people. You telling them not to use real estate to buy real estate? Come on now. So like what I'm saying is, and stop talking about leaving money to your kids like that. If you leave your kids a house, they're going to sell it before the real estate agent's going to be at the funeral. They're going to sell it. And by the time they finish fighting over it and divvying it up, it ain't going to be shit. What you should do is suck that money out, buy a couple things. Y'all split the money. You travel, have fun together. You give them money while your grandkids are little. Because like Titus is here, my grandkids. I'm always at my grandkids. I want to do stuff with them now. Titus shows up, or I'm at with Lily, me, or August. I'll just take the day off because those are the moments that I care about. Some of you guys wait until you die to leave your kids the money. If your kids have their shit together, when you die, they won't need the money, right? So enjoy it. Black people, stop being so god dang scared. It blows me. I want to pray on it. I'm like, you've been praying all your life. The Lord sent you to me. I know it's hard to believe. Trust me, I'm not saying I'm the thou chose. Well, I am the chosen one, right? You came to me. You've been praying. I gave you the answer. And you want to go back and pray on it again? I want to pray on it. No, you don't. You scared because your God told you what to do and you're not doing it, which is why you broke as hell. So stop praying on it. Give God the glory for giving you the path to the advice and make a move and stop being a punk bitch with your money. I'm out.
A little bit different than licking ass last night. I learned something tonight. See, me, I sit here and I listen, man. So I'm trying to figure out of the 108 that I'm looking at right now, how many DMs he gonna have in his DM? You can sit here and listen all day, but until you move, ain't nothing gonna happen. You don't. What the man is basically telling you, because normally I'll break it down for you in hood terms. I ain't want to do it tonight. What he telling you is your broke ass don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money right now. It's the poor man's stock market right now. And you can win if you do the right things. That's all he's telling you. So stop fucking around with it. Go get it, man. I want to remind y'all, which is this the first time I'm saying it, on February 27th, I'm doing a virtual fundraiser for my school board run, man. And I'm looking at y'all coming through the door, man. Who gonna put the 100 up? Who gonna put the 250 up? Who gonna put the 500 up? We got some things that we got to do. Right now, we're in the driver's seat, bro. We're in the driver's seat, man. I want to say congratulations to one of the politicians. I kind of, I deal with him. State Representative Harold Dutton, who is the first, and it is symbolism, but it needed to happen. The first black person to be over the education committee in the Texas state legislature. So rather than send him a congratulations today, I picked up the phone and told him, my brother, I'm ready to testify. And his whole thing was, we got to save our black boys, Monroe, in this educational system. So I want to say congratulations to Mr. Dutton, and I'll turn this over to Demetri so we can get up out of here.
So y'all can go to bed.
Walter, there's some questions in the comment section. If you can go back after the live is over, look at the questions. I see Red Rosea. I hope I said that right. She has a question. And a few other people. So Red, you can DM Walter actually and ask him that question so he can work with you one-on-one. And Tara,
I have an idea.
Sure.
Why don't you and Gary take y'all black asses to bed? Me and Donovan will stay here and entertain these questions because it's only.
I was speaking for Gary. He might not want to go to bed. I was speaking for.
Like, Gary, don't you have a politician you can roll up on right now? It's dark, they ain't gonna see you.
It was so crazy. I called one of them today. Big dog, scared as hell on the phone. Man, I don't want to talk to you on the phone. Nah, I can't roll up on them right now, man. They call laws on me.
But no, I'll answer some of these questions.
All right, so let's give it another. Is it all right if we do another 10 minutes, y'all? I'm on the clock here.
I don't have a job. I can give it 20 minutes. Donovan, he's rich already, so he got all night. The right side of the screen is cool.
Tara, I like what you said. I saw it. I can't see where it is now, but you said you paid your rent for the last 2 months off of the stocks, your earnings from stocks. So, and I believe you got the information from the classes and stuff that Walter gave. So that's awesome to be able to do that. And also, let's see, Red, you asked a question. I'm just trying to get to it here. I mean, also like what you said too, Tara, about the looms, the what do you call those things? The susus that people were doing, putting the money in and trying to, get the money to recycle back to them. I haven't heard anything else about those. But he said people will play those, but they won't invest into the stock market. So yeah, it's I get you on that one.
And they're illegal. Those are illegal. Like if you get caught running one of those, you are going to jail.
Right. Period. And Stacy, how you doing? He says, I'm a proud member of Cornucopia. There's Walter's website there on his name tag, cornucopia.com.
He sure is.
And Red, you say, I need advice from one of you guys. I own a house and property that I rent. I'm trying to figure out if I should take money out of my savings to update it. So she says, can someone DM her? So
yeah, you can DM me. I can tell you now, no, don't touch your money, touch other people's money. If you got equity, use that. Your neighbor got 20 grand on the bank, use their money. Like one thing you'll learn from the banks is it's other people's money. You could go to a nightclub and say, if you got $50 bill, put your hand up. I'll take that. I'll give you 1%. And I'll go earn like 20% on it. One thing you guys learn banking, don't touch your money. Build your credit and get other people's money. Then you can buy 3 properties with that money, and then those properties, and you keep buying. But you want to make sure that they're affordable. Don't suck all the money out and be out there blowing it. You want to make sure it's affordable. If the world crashes, can these people pay the rent? And then you want to do it that way. And then stack your cash, because here's what's going to happen, you guys. And everyone's saying it. The housing market, the interest rates are low. Prices are up. So what happens is interest rates and values move in opposite directions, like bond prices. Bonds, the value, the price of the bond and the interest rate move in inverse directions. Real estate does the same thing. So the only reason property values are hot is because the rate is low. And the big boys at JP Morgan go, these dumbasses, the price was $400,000. The rate was 4% or 3%. We can jack the price up to $500,000 because the rates are down and they will pay it. And then they flip that money. And then the market crashes and they take all that cash and they buy all those houses and they come in, unfortunately, for the Black communities first. I had a real estate agent tell me 5th ward, 3rd ward, whatever ward it is. She goes, that in 10 years is going to be Karens walking their dog. And you think it's crazy. Like, ain't no way in the world somebody of my color is not going to the 5th ward. If you go to LA in the 10 on Adams Street in LA off the 10 freeway near Crenshaw, that used to be all Black, and you didn't walk down Adams at night. I have a friend over there, ain't a Black person in sight. All I see is poodles, period. So let's go to 5th ward and buy some stuff, or Corinth, or what did Erica say, Conroy, or whatever it is. I'll go to the hood and buy, because in 10 years, it ain't going to be the hood. It's going to be different, right? And so why don't we just buy the block ourselves? We did something in Dallas and the lady comes up and says, I'm so happy, baby, to see a Black man buying it. I was like, is there a law against that? Like, am I breaking the law? She goes, no, it's just the white man that bought up every house except for this one. So I'm like, well, they didn't ask me for my color when I went into escrow. You could have bought it. She goes, my house paid off, baby. I said, so you got equity, all that cash, and how come you didn't buy? Anyways, the conversation went sour from there. You get the point.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, D. Why is it that you think, in your professional opinion, that Black people are afraid to take the risk, but we have no problem risking robbing a grocery store, a bank, selling crack, ruining our, we're not afraid of those tangible things, but like just the fact of investing. Why in your professional opinion do you think that is?
Well, one, I don't believe all Black people steal and smoke crack, but I know what you're saying. I'm just messing with you. You opened the door on that one, my brother. But okay, 2 things. One, I'm gonna start small. I'm reading the comment. April, what's up, girl? I miss you. The 99 against the 1%. Listen, baby, we the 1%. I'm kicking it with the 1. When I play football, my coach was like, hey, 2nd place. Because 99 is 2nd place. 98 is 3rd place. Do the math, right? I'm trying to be in 1st place. You know where I got all my information? From the 1%, right? Number 1. Number 2, Black people, I think we're scared. And I apologize. I'm not a master on this, but I think 1 is our parents, our upbringing. I think it's we use religion as a way, like, for instance, when I go to my buddy's church, his Baptist church, all they do is preach fear. I leave there scared as hell. Am I going to hell? Did I smoke? Like I had a drink last night. Am I going to hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? I saw a white woman cross the street. I stared at her booty too long. Am I going to hell? I mean, like, I'm nervous when I leave his church. And so I'm like, I'm afraid. So I think it's that. And then our parents, because Black people in 1950 couldn't really buy a house. If you know Leavenworth or D, you know what I'm talking about. Levington or whatever that town was. They were like, ain't no Black people. Yeah. Like, but the fact they still, our grandparents and parents are still holding on to that. So we are living in fear because it was taught, right?
And how many times, not to cut you off, but how many times have we heard, and people still pass this down to their children? Go to college so you can go get you a good job. But you know, we rarely teach our children about becoming business owners, or you know, being an entrepreneur, or playing the stock market, if you will.
Yeah, no. Here's I told my kids, go to college, meet some business partners. Like my two youngest kids, we talk about college all the time. I said, you know what I would rather do? Is I would rather give you $100,000 over 4 years, and you go out and take $5 grand and start 20 businesses. All you need is one to work. Me to borrow 100 grand and pay $400 a month or $500 a month for the rest of my life, for you to go out and start one business that makes $100,000 a year, makes sense to me, baby. So I would rather you do that. And then if you go to college, go through it. Like, see, most kids go to college, they don't have an end in mind. So when I was in college, I dropped out because my professor was struggling. He was broke down. His car was smoking. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here for 4 years to be that dude. Like, you guys, look at the people that are giving you advice. You want to see a cracking happy hour? Go to the teacher's lounge when the kids leave, or go to the bar across the street from the school. I saw my kid's teacher in a Jesus and a Carlos O'Brien's, and she goes, well, I said, I ain't judging. I know those kids are bad as hell. She goes, then you know what I'm talking about. And we had 3-4 drinks together. This is back when I used to like drink a lot more than I do. So the school system, they don't have it figured out. You guys, yeah, being a teacher is admirable, but those poor teachers are under so much stress. They're on the bottom of the totem pole. The Taj Mahal, the principal, the people in the executive offices make way more money and they do less. It's insane to me. Like, Donovan, you're in the military. I send you out to go shoot and take the bullets. The guys in the back smoking cigars and drinking cognac, and they're making triple your pay, and you doing most of the work. It's insanity.
Do you see Bree's question here? She has I have a few questions you will want to ask. What are your plans to recover the cost with profit? And then she asked another question. Let's see here. Do you recommend buy and flip or long-term rentals with the market at its current rate?
No. And here's what I mean. And there's no answer for everything. I mean, some buy, if you get the house at a good deal, yeah, flip it. But like, make sure you can afford the payment if it doesn't go your way, right? Because these buy and flips, you see people on buying and flipping. What they don't tell you is they've been doing it 20 years and they lost millions of dollars, and now they figured it out. And because, can I be honest? Why wouldn't I just do it full time? I believe you can teach classes and do things, but some of these real estate guys, they teach a class every damn day. I'm like, when do you buy real estate? So what I'm doing is buying real estate, fighting for the price. Or actually, my favorite thing now is I'm buying land. I'm looking at Corinth, Texas. There's lake property there. There's Conroy. There's a bunch of places where you can buy land and build on it, which is actually the better way to go, because you can build kit homes, you can do modulars, you can do all kinds of stuff. So that's where my money is going. The home builders are the richest, by the way, right? So, but I would buy a house to rent it out and let the renter pay the mortgage, and then you refinance and pull the cash out and buy another one and let that renter pay your mortgage. And just make sure that you're in a position to where the rent's low enough to where if the market takes a dive, you can afford the mortgages. Period.
Or if a pandemic happened, like a lot of the people now with, landlords with people who can't pay the rent, and unfortunately, a lot of those people bought the house and they can only afford to pay the mortgage if someone was paying the rent. And so a lot of people didn't have that cushion to, weather a pandemic, and I guess a lot of people at this point, their money is kind of ran out, but we saw that happen early on.
If you have a mortgage, they gave you 12 months, and I don't know if they've extended it to not pay your mortgage. So if your person's not paying rent, you have a mortgage, you're not paying a mortgage. So there's help on both sides. But like, don't let the pandemic scare you guys. This pandemic, I'm not saying it was created, but I'm thinking somebody created it. Whatever, think about it. If you had a way to get the whole world off the street for a year, And you had all that time to do it. People were scared. I know people like, dude, I'm not going outside. You might have the coronavirus. I might. I don't know. But like, it's not going to run my life. I'm not saying we need to do what Texas is doing or Arizona or Florida or Colorado, or, but like, I think you ought to just go like when the pandemic hit, we had just started 2 businesses, Cornucopia, which Buddy was like, you mean like Cornucopia? I said, okay. My timing was off, but like it's still Cornucopia. And we re-entered the car business, and both of those stopped like completely. And so we sat there, and then we started looking for niches. And right now we have launched a bunch of initiatives that only would have been available, that are only available because of the pandemic. The pandemic is the best thing that has ever happened to me financially. It is going to put millions of dollars in my pocket over the next few years. And it's only because I took advantage of the information that was available. So, I don't know. Actually, I do know. That's just a horrible tick that I have. I do know.
So, you all watching, was that long enough for you? Did we give y'all enough time? And I should also say Walter will be back here every Thursday to give us some financial advice and conversation. We'll call it financial conversation every Thursday. Because we can honestly be here forever, but we won't.
I don't know about every Thursday, but I'm gonna be here a lot of Thursdays.
A lot of Thursdays. There you go.
I'm retired right now, so I don't want a job, but I enjoy this. This is fun if you take the advice.
All right, so a lot of Thursdays, and so again, you guys, Gary is having his fundraiser for school board trustee. It's a virtual campaign, Saturday the 27th, 3 p.m. Central Time on Facebook and YouTube. Please do not miss that. He needs to raise a lot of money in order to do this because unfortunately, the other people who are running on the other side, they have these big giant war chests. And oftentimes, the candidate with the most money, not that they're the best, but the candidate with the most money, they win because they're able to get all these signs and commercials and, a lot of stuff.
Hold up.
Sure.
Stop right there. I don't mean to be a jerk in the matter, but a thorn in the side. But let me just say something. We're all adults here. And I'm going to try and be careful right here, right? Raising money, passing the bucket, donations is one thing. You know what we could all do? Like put money into the campaign, right? Do that. But you know what you could also do is go out, buy those put options, go out to March and February, buy those $19, $20 puts. And then when GameStop gets to $10, take that money and put that in the campaign. So instead of giving $100, you can give $1,000. That's why they're getting their asses kicked, because they're not investing. They're raising money instead of flipping the money and donating it.
But what I hear is because Walter has made so much money with his puts, he's going to put some money towards
I got 100 on it.
Larry, did you hear that? Donovan, did
I don't
you
even live there. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll put 100 on it.
Donation. Woohoo! Ring the bell.
I'll put 100 on it. Yeah. I'm making dinner tonight. I got the 100.
Walter's got 100 on it. Y'all heard him. All right, so Gary, we'll need the link eventually so that we can put the money in there and get you on that school board. Yeah, it's a good idea if you're making some stocks. I know I personally will be giving money to the fundraiser, so we need that link. And for you guys who watch all the time, let's get Gary to the school board. You guys ever see that movie, Get Him to the Greek? Let's get him to the school board, all right? So anyway, we are all done here. Walter will be back here most Thursdays. Gary, take us out of here. And thank you to YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, man, just whatever you can do, just do it. It's our race to lose. That's all I can tell you. It's our race to lose. And like I told somebody today, I'm cool with losing. But if I lose, the kid's going to lose. I proved that 4 years ago. They ain't got nothing out the deal for the last 4 years. So let's see what we can do, man. Tomorrow night, we'll bring up one of our activist friends from Lafayette, Louisiana. There's a lot going on down there, man. It's a lot going on down there. Y'all remember the barbecue lady, Sarah Fogelman, right? That was barbecuing in front of the mayor's house. Well, today, the sheriff showed up and told her, you got to come to court. The DA picked the charges up. Don't worry about it though, because the OG is 2 hours away. Josh Guillory, Mayor President. You know you don't want to be in my lane. But fuck it, I ain't got nothing else to do. I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetra K, the money man Walter Coulter, and I am the 5-star general. Lake Charles, Louisiana, get a seatbelt. Because the OG on the way, man. Ain't no more games being played until tomorrow night. We'll holler at you.